He wakes up and finds himself somewhere totally unfamiliar. He started thinking about who the guy really was, and if he might not even be alive anymore. He catches a woman's voice, begging some ancestor to go easy on her and her kid so she can actually have her baby. He gets shut down right away. Another person jumps in, explaining that the Medicine God Valley checked things out and thinks the mom's body isn't in great shape anymore, she's not really gifted, and the baby she's carrying is just average. That voice kept asking how the Luo clan could end up with someone like him and not get roasted by everyone else. The hero started thinking about where those words were coming from, and what it really meant to be born with something wrong before even making it out into the world. Out of nowhere, he figures out something wild. He's not just in some random dream. He's actually landed in a whole new fantasy world, except he's not even born yet. He spots his mom standing right in front of him, and it's obvious she's expecting. He figures out they're actually talking about him, the kid who's got this built-in problem. He catches on that Elder Zhongzhou is probably about to leave him behind. He starts thinking about how rough the world really is. If you're not strong, people just toss you aside before you even get a shot. Zhang Tian, the mom, wants to know if he's cool with the plan. Zhang Tian starts going off on her, pretty much calling her out about how her kid, with his weak root bones, shouldn't get the same resources or good fortune as the rest of the Luo clan. He even throws shade by bringing up Yun'er's unborn baby, saying that one's basically special, almost like it's on a whole other level. Zhang Tian's mom snaps at him, making it clear she was the one who gave up her own true energy to save him when he was hurt and out cold. Because she did that, her own kid's root bones ended up messed up. Shan Tian pretty much puts her on the spot. She has to either walk away from the Luo clan or give up her kid. The mom just freezes when she sees the choices in front of her. He thinks about who would actually push a mom into making a choice like that. He waits, barely moving, just watching to see what his mom will do next. Zhang Qixin, the mom, finally decides what she's going to do. She lets everyone know she's done with the Luo clan and is leaving for good. The elder and Shan Tian stare at her, totally stunned. Zhang Xiqin decides right then that whatever happens to her, her kid's fate is tied to hers. He decided that, starting now, he was done with the Luo clan for good. The kid promises his mom that even though he's not strong and his roots are kind of messed up, he's ready to put in the grind and level up, and together, they're gonna earn back their respect. Right when he was locked in and ready to go, this thing called the Late Bloomer system just popped up in front of him. The artifact stuck with him after he proved he was dead serious about leveling up. He can't believe it, he actually has a system now. His mind is racing and he's hyped just thinking about everything that could happen next. He hears the name and instantly gets heated, annoyed that people are already calling him a late bloomer when he hasn't even been born yet. He finds out the system's real name is System of Late Blooming Greatness, and can't help but think it's already pushing him to grind even before he's born. He starts thinking that maybe this system showed up way before anyone was ready for it, like 300 years too soon. The system flashes a quick look at what's coming for him. In the future, he and his mom, Zhang Qiqin, can't level up their skills at all. Everyone around them just laughs and looks down on them, making life way tougher than it should be. The system keeps showing what's coming for the kid, and honestly, it's rough. His half-brother ends up crushing it, basically reaching the top, while he's stuck just trying to survive on medicine his mom had to beg for. He realized he only started pushing back against fate after his mom passed away. The fetus isn't having any of it and really pushes back, desperate for the system to quit showing him this messed up future. When he figures out the system showed up 300 years ahead of schedule, he sees his shot to flip his whole life from an L to a massive win. He decides he's done with the way things are, and promises himself he's going to change everything. He's aiming to be the guy everyone talks about, someone who leaves a mark way bigger than himself. The system drops a starter mission on him. He's got to start cultivating on his own for the first time and surprise his mom. If he pulls it off, he gets to fuse with this ancient sacred body as a reward. He just stands there, completely frozen. The system breaks it down, saying this body comes with insane strength, like strong enough to actually take on the ancient emperors. He figures out that this power lets him actually mess with destiny. He used his time in the womb to chill and let spiritual energy flow through him, just breathing easy and soaking it all in. His mom notices something weird going on in her body. She just stared, trying to process if her son really started leveling up before even being born. The system pops up saying the mission's done. Then it starts merging him with this ancient sacred body. This kicks off the power passed down from the old legends. Outside, the mom spots something weird going on. Flashes in the sky that look a lot like lightning. Inside her mind, she starts seeing these old-school emperors, the kind of dudes who make even the strongest heroes look like side characters. As the golden energy moved through her, his mom could tell something inside her was getting fixed up. It was like her body was actually healing itself for real, not just on the outside, but deep down where she'd been hurt before. She gets more and more confused, wondering how something like this could happen with her kid, especially when everyone always said he wasn't anything special. The system breaks down how leveling up works, starting with 3 beginner stages: blood transformation, cave heaven, and spirit manifestation. Each one has 10 ranks to get through. If someone manages to hit the higher ranks before they're an adult, that basically means they're built different, pretty much a genius. Everyone knows that if someone manages to level up past spirit manifestation before they're even an adult and makes it to the venerable realm, even just the first level, that's basically unheard of. People call that pure destiny. The system popped up showing the kid's new name, Zhang Wang. His ancient sacred body just leveled up to the first stage of blood transformation, but he didn't stop there. He powered straight through the second, third, and fourth levels, one after another. Zhang Wang decides this is where he takes control and starts changing how his life plays out. Somewhere else, the mom pulls up to this huge house and lets her older brother and his wife know she's back. She gets to the house, and her oldest brother Zhang Wang is there waiting, along with his wife, Zhang Xiqing. The brother tells his sister that they had to look for help from a bigger sect to help her kid, since nobody wants to mess with the Luo clan. Zhang Xiqing doesn't hold back, basically calling out Zhang Qiqin for showing up now that the Luo clan tossed him aside. Zhang Xiqing shot her a look that was straight up sarcastic, making it clear he thought the Luo clan never let her get those marriage alliance perks from the main Mo family. Now, seeing her come back acting all proud, he could tell she was just trying to grab whatever leftovers she could. Zhang Xiqing just sits there looking down. All she really wanted was to make sure her kid was safe, nothing else. Her brother jumps in, clearly pissed, telling his wife to chill and making it clear that the Zhang clan's got his nephew's back with whatever he needs. Zhang Wang, the oldest brother, steps in and tries to keep things chill for his sister, Zhang Qixin. He tells her not to let his wife's tough talk get to her, saying his wife just comes off harsh but actually means well underneath it all. Zhang Xiqin lets him know she's totally cool with it and says she already gets what her sister-in-law is usually like. While Zhang Wang was still just a fetus, he realized things weren't going how he thought they would. He expected his mom to get picked on, but instead, everyone in the Zhang clan treated her way better than anyone ever did in the Luo clan. The vibe was just way more chill and welcoming. Right when he's deep in his own head, Zhang Qixin's parents show up out of nowhere. They let everyone know they're back, and they didn't come alone. They brought someone pretty important with them. Sage Miao, repping the Palace of Creation Sage, was there. The fetus can't look away from the sage. Her looks are on another level, almost like she walked out of some crazy fantasy story. He's just locked in, thinking she's got the kind of beauty you only see in those Xiangxia worlds. Out of nowhere, the fetus notices his electronic system turning back on and dropping a new mission called Late Blooming Greatness. Jiang Wang figures out that the system always kicks in when it senses someone strong, so right now, he thinks Sage Miao is honestly his best shot. He thinks that if he shows everyone what he can do now, the clan might actually start respecting his mom. Zhang Qixin, the mom, steps up and politely asks the sage for some help. Meanwhile, the baby in her belly is already plotting to blow the sage's mind with how strong his ancient, sacred body is. The sage tells everyone to hang back outside while she checks out the fetus with the patient inside the hall. The sage lets the mom know she isn't going to mess with any special powers on the baby, since the little guy isn't strong yet. The sage reaches over and puts her hand on the mom's wrist, checking how she's doing. He hears the word weak and instantly gets sarcastic in his head, almost daring her to say that about his ancient, sacred body. The second the sage touches the mom's wrist, her face totally shifts. She senses this wild, intense energy rolling in from way back in the chaotic primordial era. His mom looks at her, clearly stressed, trying to figure out what's going on. The sage just stared, kind of surprised, and wanted to know if someone had already told this kid he didn't have any real talent. His mom lets him know that's exactly what the Luo clan's healers said. The sage wanted to check out just how strong this kid really was, so she started using her own powers to get a read on him. He could tell his future master still wanted more, so he went all in and let his ancient sacred body unleash everything he had. The sage notices the kid still isn't backing down. She watches him go all out and can't help but respect how hard he pushes himself. Honestly, if she hadn't randomly shown up, the world would have missed out on someone who's actually next level. The mom just stands there, totally frozen. Nobody there really gets what's up with the kid's bones, so the sage decides to pull out her rare treasure. It's this thing that basically exposes the truth about anything, and she wants to use it on him to finally see what's actually going on. The mom really appreciates her and shows it in a way that's hard to miss. As soon as the sage and the mother walked out of the hall, everyone from the clan waiting outside got tense. They all started thinking the test ended so fast because the kid didn't make it. The sage reminds them to chill and not overthink everything. She then lets everyone know the baby's totally fine, and, on top of that, the kid's got some insane talent no one's ever seen before. Sage Miao knows for sure that what she just saw is real. She thinks she's lucky to be here right now and see all this go down. The grandfather just stands there, totally confused, trying to figure out how his grandson could pull this off when everyone always said the kid had no real talent. The sage just brushes off what the doctor said, basically thinking the guy has no clue. With her treasure, the sage shows the Jiang clan something wild. A huge vision pops up, and everyone sees 9 golden dragons dragging this massive bronze coffin through the sky. The whole clan just stands there, totally blown away, not even knowing what to think. The sage lays it out straight. Even one of these 9 top-tier dragons could wipe out the whole Jiang clan without breaking a sweat. Nobody really knew who was getting dragged into that coffin, and the clan guys were all trying to figure it out. The vision showed a guy who looked a lot like his mom, Zhang Qixin. The sage figures out that someone in the Zhang clan just got the legendary sacred body. He knows this means a future heavenly emperor is about to show up. The grandparents are totally lit up with happiness, and the grandma can't hold back her tears. She's so happy, it's like she thinks their whole family just got some next-level good luck. Zhang Qixin checks out her belly and can't help but feel proud. She knows her kid has really made her look good. The sage looks over at Zhang Qixin. She let her know straight up that she's not really into small talk and would just get to the point. She offered to have her kid join the Palace of Eternal Creation as her student. She says she'll stick around and guide him herself, making sure he levels up non-stop until he's basically unstoppable. Everyone in the clan just froze, realizing the offer on the table was for head disciple, the kind of spot that heirs from big imperial families would literally go all out for, no matter what it took. While he's still in the womb, Zhangwan already thinks the Palace of Creation is top tier way better than what his system even needs, which is just some third-rate group. He can't help but get hyped thinking about how big his reward might be. Zhang Qixin's mom showed a lot of respect as she agreed, clearly grateful for what the sage did for her and her family. His mom sat there thinking about how everything flipped in just one day. In her head, she wondered if her kid actually wanted to be the sage's student. The sage couldn't help but smile to herself, realizing how lucky she was that her sympathy pulled her to the Jiang clan. If she hadn't shown up, there's no way she would have found out about this kid who's honestly on another level. Right then, Zhang Wang's system flashes him a quick look at how rough his life was supposed to be. After that, the system lets him know he's done with the mission to get into at least a third-rate sect. Zhang Wang can't help but hype himself up when he finishes the mission. Knowing the Palace of Creation is top tier, he's already thinking about what kind of reward he's about to score. He's sure that with his ancient power and a top-tier training method, nothing's about to slow him down. The system dropped the reward, a top-tier move called the Art of the Heaven Devouring Demon. Zhang Wang couldn't believe it when he got his hands on this legendary technique. It honestly caught him off guard. The system breaks it down. This art is all about taking in energy from the world around you, pulling it in like a natural magnet. It lets you level up over time, can heal you, and comes with some serious power to keep enemies in check. He knows he can't just sit around. This is his shot, and he's got to go for it right now. He starts leveling up right from inside his mom's belly. Golden energy suddenly started glowing from him, swirling all over the hall. Everyone, his mom and the whole clan, couldn't believe what they were seeing. His uncle and aunt just stood there, totally stunned. His uncle couldn't wrap his head around it. How was his nephew already leveling up before even coming into the world? Grandpa can't help but hype up the Jiang clan, acting like they just got the best luck ever. Meanwhile, the uncle and his wife just stand there, totally stunned, not really knowing how to react. While all this is going down, Sage Miao is feeling pretty hyped. She knows that having a disciple with the ancient sacred body on her squad means nobody's going to call her clan weak at the Immortal Palace's tournament in 100 years. She's basically set, confident that her name's going to carry real weight from now on. The sage says that if he wants to become her student, he needs to bring something to the table. But since she's his master now, she's going to hook him up with a special treasure first. Jiang Wang, still just a fetus, is totally sure of himself. With his sacred body and that heaven-devouring demon move, he figures the treasure's basically his already. He calls for it with his mind, not even stressing. Taking control of a regular treasure like this feels way too easy for him. The treasure goes straight into the mom's stomach and kind of blends in with it. The sage couldn't believe it. He was trying to figure out how a baby who hadn't even been born yet could get a treasure to notice him. That wasn't all. Once the system finished its mission, the fetus just focused and leveled up the treasure, which was now called the Heaven and Earth Fire Suppression Armor. The armor shifts and levels up, turning into a spirit treasure that feels like it's part of him now. Everyone in the family just stood there, totally stunned, trying to wrap their heads around what they were seeing. Nobody could figure out how an unborn kid just pulled off something wild with the treasure, making it even better. The sage realized she'd planned to help the boy connect with the treasure herself, but he didn't even need her. He took control of it solo, and somehow his sacred body leveled it up into an innate spirit treasure all on his own. With the spirit treasure basically tied to him from the start, the sage knows regular cultivators stand no chance of messing with him. She lets everyone know that once Zhang Wang levels up to the cave heaven realm, she'll come back herself to guide him to the sect. She plans to show him around and help him check out everything the world of cultivation has to offer. 3 days later, some soldiers from the big Xia Divine dynasty rolled up. They burst into the Jiang clan's hall, not wasting any time, and straight up asked for the boss to show up right now. Zhang Qixin instantly knows what's up. They've clearly caught wind about her and her son getting kicked out of the Luo clan. They're here to break off the engagement, no doubt. Meanwhile, the baby isn't having any of it. He kind of rolls his eyes at how predictable this all is, and is already planning to prove everyone wrong as soon as he shows up in the world. The head soldier turns to Zhang Wang, who's the fetus's uncle, and brings up this old marriage deal they made years back. The uncle storms in, clearly ticked off, wanting to know why everyone just barged into their hall like that. The leader stepped forward and said his name was General Wu Qi. He let everyone know, straight up, that the marriage deal was officially off. The uncle loses it, snapping at everyone and reminding them it was their dynasty that wanted this political marriage from the start. Now they're trying to back out, acting like the Jiang clan doesn't even matter. Everyone already knew Zhang Xixin got kicked out, and now her kid wasn't even considered the real heir anymore. General Wuqi couldn't see why anyone would want to team up with the tiny Zhang clan when his own side was way bigger and better. Meanwhile, the baby inside just kind of laughed at the idea that he wasn't talented. He was already planning to make this general eat his words and literally beg him to take their princess once he was born. The general kept throwing shade, basically saying their emperor was doing them a favor by sending him. If it wasn't for that, he claimed they'd be the ones stuck kneeling in front of the imperial hall, begging for their princess to get a proper royal marriage instead of getting matched with someone from the weak side of the Jiang clan. The uncle straight up tells him that if he keeps disrespecting them and trash-talking his cousin in their own house, he's done for. The general looked at the uncle and just brushed him off, barely giving him any respect. He steps up, ready to take out the fetus, not seeing any reason to keep it around. The fetus gets fired up when someone tries to hurt his mom. Out of nowhere, this giant spiritual hand just pops up and blocks the general's move. The general totally loses it and starts yelling for the Zhuangming elders to help. 2 old guys showed up, both cracking up as they arrived. He started roasting the family's grandpa and even acted like he could teach him a thing or two. General Wuqi brought in the 2 elders and let everyone know they were the Xuanming elders from the dynasty's court. As this was happening, Zhang Wang, still just a fetus, sized up the 2 old guys and realized they were actually pretty strong. The uncle lost it, calling out the great Xia dynasty for teaming up with some really shady old guys, and even threw shade at them, wondering if they even knew what shame was. An elder snapped back, basically shutting down the uncle and making it clear he wasn't supposed to talk yet. One of the older guys suddenly went after the uncle, so the grandpa had to jump in and help. While grandpa tried to catch the uncle, someone shoved him hard and pushed him back. While everything was going wild, the other elder saw his chance and went straight for Zhang Qixin, who was pregnant. He swung his sword at her, basically mocking the old grandpa, thinking there was no way he could save everyone at once. Right away, the system inside the fetus started blaring alarms about a deadly danger. It instantly gave him a mission. He had to step up and make sure his mom didn't get hurt. The fetus was fired up, honestly pissed that anyone would go after a pregnant woman. It just felt wrong on every level. Zhang Wang didn't waste any time. He tapped into the heaven-devouring demon art and made it eat up the attack like it was nothing. A swirling vortex showed up out of nowhere, sucking up all the spiritual power from the elders' attacks. The elders just stood there, totally thrown off, trying to figure out where all their power went. The grandfather sat there, totally confused, trying to figure out who stepped in to help out the Zhang family. Cool. The elders, totally freaked out, teamed up and went for it, sending out these blue, ghost-like hands all at once. Fetus instantly tapped into his own spirit treasure, throwing up a heaven and earth cold flame barrier. His goal was simple, try to burn everyone else out of the way. The fire suddenly blew up, way stronger than anyone expected, and the elders totally freaked out. He noticed right away that he was up against a real spirit weapon, which got him thinking, how did a smaller clan like the Zhangs even get their hands on something like that? One of the guys called out the thing hiding in the dark, basically telling it to stop lurking and just show itself. After Zhang Wang got through that wild life or death moment, the system popped up saying he made it. As a reward, he scored this rare 9-turn Great Mysterious Rebirth pill. The instructions said this pill gives your spiritual energy back right away. The fetus felt ready to go, determined to bring the Zhang family's name back that day. Somewhere far off, Sage Miao instantly noticed when the spirit treasure kicked in. She couldn't believe her student had already used it and she'd only been gone for 3 days. Zoned in, using her power to check out what was going on. Suddenly, her spirit just showed up over the Zhang family's hall, looking seriously mad. She wanted to know who was dumb enough to mess with her student. She stormed into the hall, making it clear that this kid was the top disciple from the Palace of Eternal Creation. She wanted to know who actually thought it was a good idea to mess with him. He didn't expect his master to show up, so he figured she probably set up some kind of backup plan in the treasure just in case things went sideways. One of the elders straight up didn't buy it and went after the sage's projection, calling her out for lying. The sage barely had to try to block his move, and the fetus just rolled its eyes, thinking it was wild that an old emperor even tried to mess with the sage from back in the day. He let out a breath he didn't know he was holding, glad his master stepped in when he did. Both elders just stood there, totally frozen. An elder tried to play it smart, hinting that the sage should drop her name so their dynasty could hit her up for advice later. The sage just laughed off his threat, saying a guy like him, just a 4th-rate ancient emperor, wasn't even close to being important enough to know her name. Right then, the grandfather sent the spirit crane flying, going straight for one of the elders. He took him out hard, slamming him to the ground, blood everywhere. General Wuqi just froze, not really able to wrap his head around how something as simple as a warning about divine power could actually shut down an ancient emperor. That's when it really hit him. This woman was definitely from the Palace of Eternal Creation. Everyone thought the Zhang family's son was just an ordinary kid, not worth paying attention to, but now he's actually stepping into the palace. Meanwhile, Zhang Wang, still just a fetus, realizes there's no point regretting anything now. What's done is done. The elder, looking tired and beat, tells the general it's time to fall back. The general stares at the sage's projection, frozen, not believing what he's seeing. In his head, he's just thinking there's no way this is real. He's mad at the Luo clan, thinking they messed up big time by kicking out someone who could have actually made it into the Palace of Creation. Now, because of that move, the whole Xia dynasty's got trouble coming their way. The Zhang family's grandpa basically asked the sage not to take out these cloud chasers, just so they can stick around and see how insane his grandson's future is going to get. He wants them to watch his grandson level up in real time. The sage nods and tells them to head back, making sure they survive so they can take the message home to their dynasty. Hana. The marriage agreement between the Zhang family and the Xia dynasty just got called off. The fetus seems pretty happy, kind of curious if his master is actually about to help him out. The sage stops for a second, thinking it through, then straight up says it's not up to them to break up her disciple's marriage. She blasts out this wild energy that sends the soldiers stumbling backward. Then, without missing a beat, she chucks the annulment papers right at them, making it clear her student's the one who's done with marrying the princess from their dynasty. The sage suddenly raises his voice at them, demanding to know why they're still hanging around. She tells them not to forget about giving back the engagement gifts, or else she'll show up herself to get them. The general, beaten and out of options, kind of just has to go along with it even though he's not happy about it. Once they left, the family all bowed to the sage. The uncle was straight up thankful, knowing that if she hadn't stepped in with that spirit treasure, things would have gone bad for the Zhang family. The grandfather walks up and thanks her big time for everything she did for the family. The sage basically tells everyone to chill since she's taken Zhang Wang under her wing. Their business is her business now. But she makes it clear she wasn't exactly the one who used the spirit treasure. The spirit crane just laughs, knowing her master's the type who keeps it real and never tries to claim something his student did. The sage tells his grandson that the whole family's got his back and will hook him up with whatever he needs. The fetus actually vibes with those thoughts, like it's starting to believe this person is the real deal, the one it's supposed to follow. The grandfather gets what the sage's hint is about and tells everyone else to head out, wanting to talk with her alone. When they finally had some privacy, the grandfather wanted answers from the sage. He needed to know what was up with his grandson's body. How was it even possible for the kid to use a spirit treasure before he was even born? The sage lets everyone know the kid actually has the legendary ancient sacred body. The grandfather just stood there, frozen. He couldn't believe what just happened. The sage admits she's got no clue how he managed to control the treasure even before he was born. Apparently, bodies like his haven't shown up for hundreds of thousands of years. Now that the kid's already started training before even coming into the world, nobody can really guess just how strong he'll be when he's finally born. The grandfather can't hold back his happiness. It's like he just won the lottery for his whole family. He honestly thinks their luck just leveled up big time. The sage lets him know that leveling up the archaic sacred body is going to take a ton of resources, and he can't slack on his basics before stepping into the palace of creation. Zhang Wang's grandpa nods, kind of grateful she brought it up. He's all in now, saying the whole Zhang clan is going to back Zhang Wang and set him up right for the future. The uncle's wife starts hyping everyone up, saying the Zhang clan's about to blow up and get way bigger. The uncle gets fired up, thinking they need to make the Luo clan seriously wish they made a different call. Zhang Wang, still just a fetus, started thinking about everything that just went down. He realized this world only respects power. Nothing else really matters. His master barely did anything, but her enemies were already struggling hard. Seeing all that, Zhang Wang decided he couldn't just wait around to catch up later. He needed to start winning before he was even born. Once it's all done, the family comes together to pay their respects to the Jiang clan's ancestor. The ancestor already knew about the kid's insane physical abilities, but he also understood that power eats up a ton of resources. So he made up his mind to hand over everything he had to help the kid out. His mom wasn't having it. She pointed out that their ancestor needed almost half the clan's money just to keep leveling up his own skills, and if they handed over all their resources, the whole clan would basically be betting everything on this one kid. The ancestor stands his ground, making it clear he's not changing his mind. He also slides over the steps Sage Miao gave him like it's all settled. His mom steps up and shows her gratitude, letting him know she appreciates what he did for her son. The system inside the fetus drops a new mission. Keep leveling up non-stop for a whole month and try to get the ancestor's attention. If he pulls it off, the reward is the supreme celestial grandeur. Zhang Wang can't wait to get his hands on the reward. The system goes on to say that only some ancient legends ever had this kind of power, and it always comes with its own crazy built-in ability. The fetus knows he's stacked up on resources and has the heaven-devouring demon technique ready to go. He's pretty sure he can break into the spirit manifestation realm before he's even born, and honestly, he thinks hitting that level as an unborn kid will definitely get the ancestor's attention. He jumps right into training, not wasting any time. A month goes by, and the ancestor's just sitting around, bored out of his mind. He can't take it anymore, so he gets up and heads out to see what his grandson's been up to. He's been on duty all month, keeping an eye on the Zhang family's top kid and making sure nothing happens to him. He hadn't really been keeping up with his training. He finally checks his level and just can't believe what he's seeing. His grandson somehow maxed out the spirit manifestation realm in only a month, and it's got him completely confused. Right then, the fetus remembered he'd already hit this peak 3 days back. Now, he was thinking about pushing himself again, maybe breaking into the venerable realm today. He couldn't help but wonder if he'd actually pull it off this time. The moment the ancestor figures out his level, the system pops up and says the Impress the Ancestor mission is done. The fetus watches his ancestor get impressed way too easily and can't help but smirk, almost like he's thinking, seriously? That's all it takes? The reward shows up looking like some kind of spirit skeleton, and just its presence starts breaking down the wall that was holding him back. The vibe helps him push past his limits. The system just kicks in and starts merging all that power straight into him. The fetus plans to catch his ancestor off guard again. He taps into the Granger's power while he's fusing with it, leveling up straight into the venerable realm. As he does, he spots some purple energy coming off the Granger and he's honestly pretty hyped about it. The ancestor starts to get uneasy when he sees his grandson trying to level up. He knows pushing this hard could mess up the kid's progress, and he's not sure it'll end well. While this is happening, the mom notices something else going on inside her kid. The breakthrough happens way easier than he expected, and the fetus quickly figures out that the power he just got is all about time. He suddenly gets why he hit a wall before he was just moving too fast for where he was at. But now, thanks to this new ability, he can actually slow down time whenever he wants. This gave him a shot to level up way past normal, all before he even got to see the world. The ancestor stands there, just taking in the insane energy coming off his grandson. There's something wild about it, almost like time itself is woven around the kid. He realizes straight up that he doesn't even get what his grandson is capable of anymore. Dude was already on another level before he was even born. He cracks up, totally buzzing, thinking the Jung family just got lucky again. A few months down the road, Jeon Zixin starts having contractions and realizes the baby's on the way. Her family hangs out just outside the room, barely saying a word, checking the time every few minutes as the hours drag by. The midwife tells her to hang in there and not give up. When Zhang Wang was born, his system just straight up let everyone know he already hit the innate ancient immortal realm. When he was born, something wild happened in the sky like you couldn't miss it. Big names from everywhere noticed, and they actually came down just to see him and show some respect. People standing around just stared, trying to figure out how a regular true immortal could set off something this wild in the sky. Then, someone put it together. It had to be because the kid the Xia dynasty turned away was finally being born. Someone older calls him out. Everyone keeps saying those rumors are ancient history, and it turns out the Zhang family's kid is actually built different. A sage from the Palace of Eternal Creation picked him as a disciple before he was even born. Out of nowhere, the emperor of the Xia dynasty showed up himself. He could tell right away that the mess this kid started was way too wild for anyone to just brush off. Crazy stuff keeps happening in the sky, back to back. Now, there's this golden lotus popping up over the bitter sea. Everyone around just stares, totally blown away by what's still happening. Out of nowhere, the awesome rivers and mountains showed up. The bright stars lit up the sky above him. The emperor spots the yin-yang life and death symbol, something nobody's seen in 1,000 years. Zhang Wang, just born, still isn't calling it quits. He pulls together all 5 epic visions, turning them into one last crazy event. The immortal king shows up, dropping down straight from the 9 heavens. Zhang Wang's ancestor stands there, eyes tearing up, totally proud. He looks at Zhang Wang, thinking this dude's got the vibe of someone who could run an empire one day. The emperor from the Xia dynasty can't help but wish this kid was actually part of his own family. He's got some serious regrets, thinking about how different things could have been if the kid was born under his roof. He thinks about changing up the wedding plans, but the thought makes him embarrassed, so he decides to just drop it. The mom hugged her kid close, showing him he really means everything to her, and that he's what she's most proud of. People watching all this start saying the Luo clan's probably regretting everything big time right now. The emperor thinks it over and ends up seeing things in a pretty dark way. He figures that since they've ticked off someone this talented, their best move is to take him out before he even gets started. 5 years later, Zhang Wang shows up again, but now he's just a kid sitting there totally locked in on meditating. He's already figured out how to slow down time. Even though he finally hit the top of the ancient king realm, he still thinks he's moving way too slow. Just as he was doing his thing, some excited servants showed up. They wanted him to chill out and even brought him some legendary fruit, basically stuff anyone would want to try. He gets pretty irritated when they start acting way too hyped. Zhang Wang finishes meditating and stands up, noticing his ancestor had been waiting for him the whole time. The ancestor checks out 5-year-old Zhang Wang and can't help but be impressed. Zhang Wang's already maxed out the ancient king realm, which is crazy for someone his age. The ancestor knows that in just a few years, Zhang Wang's probably going to leave him in the dust. Zhang Wang keeps it real, saying he hasn't leveled up at all for more than a month and just can't get past this one spot. Zhang Wang was stuck between a rock and a hard place. His system had dropped this mission on him a year back. He was supposed to check out some secret realm. Problem was he couldn't just dip out of the clan whenever he wanted, since both the Great Xia dynasty and the Luo clan had basically put a hit out on him. He started picking up on some real sketchy vibes coming from inside the Zhang clan. Then, while he was deep into his training one day, something dark and straight up nasty hit him out of nowhere. He followed where it was coming from and ended up at the clan's back mountain. He suddenly noticed something way more dangerous than anything he'd dealt with before, and it hit him that he was nowhere near strong enough to take it on right now. Zhang Wang stumbled across something wild, a setup meant to keep demons in check. Even this strong seal was starting to crack, dealing with trouble from both inside and outside. He realized he just wasn't strong enough right now. He figured it was time to head out and hunt for a secret realm, hoping it would help him level up fast. Zhang Wang turned back to talk with his ancestor, letting him know he picked up on something weird going on in the back mountain. The ancestor lets everyone know he sensed it as well. He starts to calm him down, saying the seal's solid and the entity can't mess with it unless something wild happens. But before he can finish, someone rushes in with some intense news that shuts down the whole vibe. One of the clan guys rushed in, saying there's a sage's secret realm popping up in their eastern sea. Word got out fast. Apparently, the Xia dynasty and the Luo clan already teamed up to lock it down. The ancestor wastes no time and gets everyone in the clan together for a meeting. Zhang Wang's not backing down. He says he's ready to go now that he's leveled up to the ancient king realm. The ancestor looks him over and gives the nod, so Zhang Wang's in. At the meeting, the ancestor lets everyone know that the first thing they need to talk about is his grandson. Zhang Wang stood in front of everyone and let them know he'd already maxed out his level months back. But no matter what he tried, he just couldn't break through. That's why he decided it was time to dip from the clan and see what the world had to offer. Once everyone checks out his level, the elders are impressed with how fast he's leveling up, but they're not cool with him leaving. They think it's way too risky, and pretty much everyone knows the enemy's just waiting to catch him slipping. The ancestor brings up the idea of just getting him a break the ancient pill, saying it's safer than doing something risky. His uncle thinks it's a solid plan and decides to go with it. Zhang Wang feels like everyone hyping him up all the time is actually holding him back now. Zhang Wang jumps in and cuts off their talk, wanting everyone to pay attention to what he has to say. He gets where they're coming from, but he can't help wondering how he's supposed to level up if he keeps playing it safe and letting the clan cover for him every time things get sketchy. He lets everyone know he's hit the top level in his world, but he's never actually been in a fight where his life was on the line. He also brings up this insane treasure his master gave him, a relic so strong even those ancient emperors would have a tough time trying to take it from him. He really wants them to let him head out and toughen up in the real world. When his uncle heard what he had to say, he pointed out that back when they were 5, stuff like this just didn't happen. The ancestor looks at Zhang Wang and has to admit, this guy's on another level now. Zhang Wang's skills have passed pretty much everyone, so at this point, he's got the right to call his own shots. The ancestor isn't really on board at first, but finally says yes. He lets him know that the top guys from the Luo clan and the Xia dynasty already made their move into the secret realm. They're not playing around, they set up a trap just for him. The moment his cover's blown, a bunch of ancient emperors are going to be there, ready to catch him slipping. Zhang Wang doesn't even hesitate. He's totally locked in, acting like it's no big deal facing some ancient emperor. Fear? Not even on his radar. His ancestor just started laughing, totally impressed by his grandson's guts. He straight up thought this was exactly how a real son of their clan should act. He tells him he can head out, but reminds him to watch himself. Zhang Wang nods, grateful. He heads out right away, not wasting any time. His mom stands at the door, watching him head out, hoping he makes it back safe. Zhang Wang shows up at the entrance to the secret realm and sees the whole area packed with people, everyone moving around and hyped up. He walks up to a cultivator, trying to keep it cool, and asks if this place is actually the ancient sage's secret realm. At first, the cultivator gets pretty irritated. He checks out Zhang Wang's outfit and can tell right away that this guy's probably from some big-time family like, you don't just wear clothes that nice unless you've got serious connections. He switches up how he's talking and just says yes. Zhang Wang says he's from a pretty low-key group, then looks around, kind of confused, noticing there are a ton of kids and young people hanging out here. The cultivator, clearly annoyed, points out how the big players like the Grey Xia dynasty and the Luo clan totally control this place. They only let people in if they're under 18, so pretty much everyone else is just stuck outside. Zhang Wang tries to figure out which top players his rivals decided to throw at him this time. Right then, a squad from the Xia Divine Dynasty pulled up, led by Grand Princess Xia Mingqian. Everyone around couldn't help but stare. She was just that good looking. One of her attendants tries to hype her up and throws shade at the others. The princess proves she's got brains and tells her not to sleep on anyone. She even points out 2 serious threats, the low-key dangerous son of Luo clan's young leader and a Qilin kid from the Zheng clan. He's bummed that her family just lost a seriously strong backup. The attendant instantly points the finger at General Wu Qi, saying he's the reason everything went south. But the princess isn't having it. She tells her to chill and just take this as a lesson instead. Both attendants nod, totally on board with the plan. Zhang Wang keeps his distance, checking out the princess. He notices how chill she is, nothing like that stuck-up general who trashed his family. Even from far away, her looks and attitude stand out. The Luo clan pulled up in this insane carriage with lightning all around it, making a total entrance. Zhang Wang saw them and grinned, kind of relieved they actually came. The clan elder steps up and brings out Luo Dong as their pick for the secret realm, letting the grand princess know he's their guy. Luo Dong goes over and tries to say hi to her. She just acts like he's not even there. He turns to the older woman with him and lets her know they should team up to unlock the secret realm together. Luo Dong stood there, face heating up as frustration kicked in. The clan elders teamed up and unlocked the gate to the secret realm. All the younger guys are told to head in right away. Zhang Wang decides it's finally time to make the Luo clan answer for what they did before. Heading toward the gate, he caught the eye of Wan Qiu, the elder from the Luo clan. She spotted him right away and instantly saw how much he looked like his mom. He realizes he's probably the Zhang clan's genius kid and can't believe he actually showed up somewhere this risky. Zhang Wang barely even notices her trying to block him. He just slips past and heads straight into the secret realm like it's nothing. Outside, Elder Wan Qiu from the Luo clan made up her mind to let her people know what was happening. She was dead set on making sure Zhang Wang wouldn't walk out of here alive since he actually showed up. Right then, Zhang Wang steps into the secret realm and kicks off his adventure. He runs into these wild spirit creatures. He figures the beast just got caught in the trap. Zhang Wang notices these beasts aren't even real creatures, they're just made out of pure energy. He doesn't sweat it at all and takes them down without any trouble. He figures none of that really touches him, and honestly, he rates his system's rewards way above anything else. He stays on high alert, knowing for sure the Luo clan and the Xia dynasty have eyes on him and probably set up a trap right outside. He knows he's got to use this chance to level up, because there's no way his current power can handle what's coming. Out of nowhere, his system pops up and lets him know he just finished the mission to find the ancient sage's secret realm. He gets powered up with 100 years worth of cultivation, like someone just gave him an instant level boost. Zhang Wang drops down right away to soak up all this new power, hyped to find out just how much stronger he's about to get. Out of nowhere, a giant blast of golden light just rockets straight up into the sky. Every young cultivator in the secret realm notices it instantly. It's impossible to miss, and now everyone's locked in, wondering what just went down. People started walking over, thinking they were about to see some rare treasure show up. But once they got closer, it hit them. This was no lucky find. What was actually going down was a wild, dangerous thunderstorm from the sky, the kind nobody wants to mess with. Someone in the group realizes it's a 9-fold thunder tribulation, all packed into one insane hit. Stuff like this hardly ever happens. It's next level rare. Luo Dong, known as the top guy in the Luo clan, spots a chance to get on Princess Xiaomingxian's good side. He thinks teaming up with her to grab the rumored treasure is the move, so he puts the idea out there. The princess holds back, not really trusting the situation, since nobody can tell how wild this tribulation might get. Luo Dong keeps pushing his point. He kept telling himself he had to win her over, totally locked in on making it happen. Right in the middle of the chaos, Zhang Wang stands his ground, facing off against a massive lightning palace that the storm just whipped up. Lightning hits him hard, sending a jolt through his whole body. He took the first punch and barely flinched, almost laughing how weak it was. He kicks in with the heaven-devouring demon art, straight up absorbing all the power from the tribulation. He jumps right into a fight with this armored dude who's literally made of lightning. Zhang Wang just blocks the lightning like it's nothing, barely breaking a sweat. He takes off, sprinting straight at the warrior. The warrior gets heated and lets loose a serious lightning strike. Zhang Wang pulls out his clan's best sword moves, going all in. He moved in to finish things once and for all. Everyone else just stands back, totally confused, trying to figure out what could actually bring down something as wild as that thunder from the sky. Then, one of them spots someone. Yep, a human right in the middle of all that chaos. The princess figures out something wild. Someone in the secret realm is actually leveling up to ancient emperor status. Since this place only lets in people under 18, that means it's a kid pulling off something nobody's ever done before. Luo Dong kept his eyes on the scene, noticing the guy in the middle of the storm wasn't hurt at all. Right then, Luo Dong figured this dude could become a huge problem later on if nobody stopped him. So, he made up his mind to take him out, planning to use the chaos from the thunder as his chance if it came up. The power of the tribulation just keeps ramping up, getting so intense that it looks like the whole secret realm might rip apart. The people watching don't stick around, they bolt, not wanting any of that smoke. Luo Dong notices what's about to go down and quickly moves to shield Princess Xiaomingxian from the blast. She lets him know she appreciates what he did. Once the storm died down, the mysterious guy was nowhere to be seen. Everyone there thought he didn't make it through and was just gone for good, like erased completely. Luo Dong gives it another shot, trying to get the princess on his side. He points out that there's some mysterious threat out there, and honestly, teaming up might be the only way they both stay safe. The princess turns him down, saying she's already got her squad set. She throws in a little sarcasm, joking that he's basically too strong for her group to handle. Luo Dong gets super pissed after getting turned down. In his head, he decides right then that Xiaomingxian is going to be his no matter what. He's not about to let anyone else step in or get told no again. The princess checks out Zhang Wang and can't help but notice how good he looks. He sits there thinking hard. If he keeps using his clan's moves, people will figure out who he is right away. He knows he's got to go find some new martial arts if he wants to stay under the radar. The princess walks up to him and catches his eye. Zhang Wang didn't expect to see her there. When he spotted her, he could tell right away she was from the Xia dynasty. He figured she probably didn't know who he was yet. She wonders if he's scared of her. He starts acting like a clueless kid, hyping up how good the princess looks. His charm totally gets to her. She gives his cheek a quick pinch and lets him know she thinks he's pretty gutsy. Zhang Wang makes up a story, saying his clan got wiped out and he had no choice but to jump into the secret realm since he ran out of resources. The princess noticed that he looked lost and decided to bring him onto her team so he wouldn't get hurt. He nods, pretending like he's all in, even though he's not actually excited. Right then, Luo Dong seriously couldn't stand Zhang Wang. The hate was real. He was seriously mad that Zhang Wang came in and messed up everything he'd set up with the princess. He starts following the princess and her crew. Not long after, a wolf jumps out and goes after Zhang Wang. Zhang Wang just grabs the attack like it's nothing, and the princess can't help but notice how strong he is. She's honestly kind of impressed. Zhang Wang knew he was playing it safe, not really showing what he could do. He suddenly catches on that Luo Dong is on their trail. Luo Dong showed up out of nowhere, saying he came here just for the princess. He pulled out this artifact called the Ancient Trapping Pearl and used it to lock her up. Meanwhile, Zhang Wang just watched, not impressed at all by the so-called power of that artifact. Luo Dong just starts laughing like he's totally lost it, making it obvious he's after her and that rare 9-yin body she's got. Zhang Wang can't help but get curious, realizing there's more going on here than he thought. Later that night, everyone's chilling by the campfire. Zhang Wang keeps up his little game, acting all nervous around big sister Shia and asking if he can crash next to her since he says he's scared. The princess messes with him a bit, kinda surprised that the guy who just wrecked spiritual beasts could actually get freaked out by something. He says he's actually freaked out, drops a compliment her way, then, trying to keep a straight face, asks if she's got a dal buddy. She just shakes her head, looking down, and it's obvious she doesn't. Zhang Wang keeps playing it cool, pretending he's actually surprised that someone like Princess Xiaoming Qian, who's good-looking and has serious clout, doesn't have a line of guys after her. The princess lets him know that every guy who comes up to her is just looking for something shady, never really being genuine. He gets curious about what's really going on, so he brings it up. That's when she finally drops the truth. She tells him about her secret, and then checks if he's ever heard of something called the 9-yin body. She goes on to say that having this kind of body is actually a huge advantage for anyone into dual cultivation. That's why all the shady sects are always on the lookout for girls like her. They want to use them for their own training. Zhang Wang acts like he totally gets what's going on, even though he really doesn't. He tightens his fist, looking like he's mad on purpose, and tells himself he's got her back if anyone sketchy ever tries anything. The princess notices how jealous he gets, almost like a little kid, and she just smiles at him. She tells him he should chill and get some rest. They're just hanging out by the fire, chilling. Zhang Wang just knows Luodong hasn't left yet. He can sense the guy is still hanging around somewhere close. He gets tired of always being watched and starts thinking he needs to deal with that animal Luodong soon if he ever wants some actual peace. Not wanting to stick around the camp any longer, he heads off. Princess trails behind him, looking pretty nervous. She lets him know he's being kind of dumb for heading out by himself and tells him to chill with the reckless moves. He's standing there, trying to say sorry to her. Nice. Luodong showed up, clearly not happy as he watched them, looking jealous. He charges at Zhang Wang, basically calling him out like he's got a death wish. Zhang Wang turns around, totally chill, and lets him know he's been waiting for him this whole time. Luodong goes right at Zhang Wang, not holding back at all. The princess steps in, putting herself right between them. She wants to know what Luodong is really up to. Haha, he lets out a dark laugh, the kind that makes everyone around him feel uneasy. He lets them know they'll find out pretty soon. He chucks the old trapping pearl right at them. They're both stuck now. The princess is fuming. She lets him know that she and her whole family aren't about to let this slide, making it clear he better let them go if he doesn't want things to blow up into a full-on war. Luodong just grins, not even bothered by what she says, and basically dares her to go for it. She gives him a heads up, letting him know he might end up wishing he made a different choice. The princess tries using her family's rescue seal, hoping it'll get her out of there, but nothing happens. Instead, the seal just breaks apart right inside the pearl space, leaving her stuck. Luodong starts messing with her, pointing out that his ancestor Wan Qiu made this pearl himself. Wan Qiu was basically a pro when it came to spatial stuff. He points out that the pearl basically shuts down any spiritual moves for anyone weaker than an ancient emperor. He lets her know she might as well just give up now. The princess gets what's going on and knows it's serious. She quickly comes up with a plan and quietly lets Zhang Wang know she's got a way to get him out of the secret realm. She tells him that as soon as he's out, he needs to call in her dynasty squad, no hesitation. Right as she's about to put her plan in motion, Luodong suddenly looks over at Zhang Wang. He gives him this look, kind of mocking, like he already knows everything. Then he starts pointing out that Zhang Wang is that kid the Luo clan ditched 5 years back. The princess walks around, trying to figure out what Luodong actually meant. She's kind of lost, replaying his words in her head, not really sure what she's supposed to do next. Zhang Wang keeps it cool and lays things out straight. First, he's not about to let anyone tie him to the Luo clan. He makes it clear he's got nothing to do with them and that his name is definitely Zhang Wang. Next, he throws some shade at Luodong, kind of calling him out for acting like he's already got this in the bag. Luodong just laughed, clearly not taking Zhang Wang seriously even though he was barely hanging on. He thought Zhang Wang was talking big for someone in that situation, and he decided right then he was going to finish things for his clan. The princess tried to fight back against the pearl's power, but it was no use. She looked at Luodong, thinking he was basically the worst, like some demon with zero shame. She thinks there's no way out, so she starts coming up with a plan to put herself in danger and draw Luodong's attention, hoping Zhang Wang can dip and bring back help. Zhang Wang wasn't having it. He shut her idea down and told her to chill for a bit since he already had an easier plan in mind. He floats up off the ground, golden energy lighting him up. Luodong just sat there, totally lost, trying to figure out how he could still use spiritual energy even though he was stuck inside the pearl. Zhang Wang takes one look at the artifact and just rolls his eyes, totally unimpressed. He calls it a broken bead, and with a quick flick of his hand, he just snaps the thing, breaking whatever power it had over him. He pops up right in front of Luodong, making it clear he hates being underestimated. Without missing a beat, he just taps Luodong on the forehead with his finger. Just this quick tap. Luodong's spiritual energy just fades away. His bones cracked, and he dropped hard to the floor. The princess just stands there, not moving, eyes wide as she takes it all in. Lu Dong hit the ground hard, totally wiped out. He was freaking out, not able to believe any of this was real. Zhang Wang stood over him, tossing out a sarcastic comment, basically checking if he was impressed now by the strength of the Luo clan's so-called throwaway kid. Luo Dong is desperate, basically pleading not to get hurt and promising he'll keep quiet about everything that just went down. Zhang Wang just looks at him, clearly not impressed. He doesn't care about the Luo clan at all and even says he'll go check them out himself before he's officially an adult. For now, though, he's just here to take what he thinks they owe him. He drops a golden core of energy right into Luo Dong's body. Luo Dong looks at him, totally freaked out, trying to figure out what just happened and what this guy did to him. Zhang Wang lets him know he's not out for blood, thanks to how his mom raised him. So, Zhang Wang decides to give the guy one shot. He can try to escape and find his ancestor to get his golden core removed, but he's only got as long as it takes 3 incense sticks to burn. If the dude actually pulls it off, there's a chance he makes it out alive. The princess tries to let Zhang Wang know that if he lets Luo Dong go, things are going to go south for him and his whole family. Zhang Wang lets her know the thief's got no chance of getting away. Lu Dong takes off, yelling about how he's going to get back at the Zhang family and wreck everything for them. He promised himself he'd break every single bone in Zhang Wang's body. He starts counting down from 3, totally chill, like he's got everything under control. Counts down, and as soon as he hits one, Lu Dong blows up far away. Zhang Wang looks over at the princess, who's clearly caught off guard, and cracks a grin. He lets her know he was just playing around about going easy on her. Honestly, listening to his mom just isn't something he does much anyway. After seeing everything go down, Princess Yemingqin realizes this really is the legendary kid from the Zhang clan. She thinks back to how her dad always regretted calling off the engagement, and now she's wondering if meeting him again could be her shot at fixing things. They head out as a group, making their way to where the blast happened. Zhang Wang doesn't really hype up the whole divine child thing. He just says he was born strong, and that's why people started talking. The princess wants to know if he was behind the thunder tribulation that tore up the secret realm. He just owns up to starting the tribulation, letting out a sigh because he seriously didn't think breaking through the top level of the ancient emperor realm would blow up like this. He says, kind of wishing things were different, that even heaven gets jealous when someone's got real talent. She watches him, totally blown away by how strong and confident he is. To her, he almost seems like some kind of legendary hero straight out of old stories. She can't help but wonder what kind of person he'll turn into as he gets older. She catches herself thinking like that and kind of shuts it down, telling herself to chill. Zhang Wang picks up on how quiet she's gotten and tries to figure out if she's mad or something. He admits to her that, at first, he stuck around on purpose, planning to use her as bait to draw out Luo Dong and take him down. She lets him know she's not the type to hold grudges, and honestly, she's not mad at all. If anything, she kinda owes him for having her back and getting rid of a problem she didn't even see coming. Zhang Wang starts to chill out a bit, the tension on his face easing up. Later, he sat by the campfire. The princess thinks back to all the talk about the Zhang clan's Qilin son possibly being the reborn version of some legendary emperor. Now, seeing what's going on, she can't help but believe those stories might actually be true. She can't help but notice how talented he is. Dude's just built different. The way he handles stuff and always knows what to say, it's honestly wild. She thinks not many people their age are even close to his level. Zhang Wang suddenly snaps her out of whatever she was thinking. He goes back to acting like a regular kid, thinking about who's going to end up with Big Sister Xia someday. She gets thrown off and starts thinking about why he's asking such weird stuff. After that, things got real. She let him know he was underestimating what he was up against with the Luo clan. Luo Dong was straight from their main family, and their whole crew, especially the older generation, wasn't just going to let this slide. She also makes sure he remembers the trap waiting for him outside, set up by her family and the Luo clan, all planned out right where the secret realm ends. Zhang Wang barely pays attention, acting like he's got this in the bag. He's so confident he says he could take out Luo Wangchu with just one hit. The princess isn't buying it, and she pushes back, wanting to see if he'll keep that same energy when the real strength of the Luo clan shows up. He started talking about how the clan's loaded with some seriously skilled guys. She hands him a special item from her dad, something that hides his presence so he can get out without anyone noticing. She really wants him to have it since he had her back earlier. She also mentions that the Xia dynasty might not always be against him. Zhang Wang takes the gift, but he makes it clear where he stands. He's cool with her as a friend, but he's not about to let her dynasty off the hook. In his mind, General Wu Qi still needs to answer for disrespecting his mom and messing with his family. The princess suddenly threw out an idea he didn't see coming, wondering what would happen if they just gave Wu Qi to him. Zhang Wang looks over at Princess Shamingqian, wondering if she actually has the power to make everyone give up Wu Qi. She lets him know her dad got played, and that's why he thought about calling off the engagement. She makes it clear that if giving up Wu Qi will help things with him and the great Xia dynasty, her dad won't hesitate to let him decide what happens to Wu Qi. After that, she hands him a jade pendant, sort of like a peace offering. Zhang Wan points out that elder sister Xia actually saw him when he was at the top of the ancient emperor realm. She thinks he's the right guy to talk her dad, the emperor, into giving up Wu Qi. He knows her dad has never actually seen what she can really do, and honestly, nobody else out there would buy that story either. To everyone else, he's just some kid the Luo clan left behind. Maybe he's got some skills, but that's about it. She tells him that her worry is just about Wu Qi, nothing else. Then she straight up asks if he's actually turning down her jade pendant. Ding Wang lets it be known he really doesn't want his friend to go through the stuff he had to deal with. He points out she's basically the top princess of the Xia dynasty, and everyone's watching her every move, ready to judge. He's determined not to give anyone a reason to say she messed up by hanging out with him, and he's not about to let anyone talk down on her for it either. She feels a little caught off guard, realizing she actually counts as his friend. Zhang Wang keeps going, letting her know he gets where she's coming from, but for him, just taking the pendant like it's nothing would mess with his pride, so he can't do it. He decides he needs to show everyone that she made the right call by trusting him, and only after that will he take the pendant and feel like he actually deserves it. She gets up, realizing that even though he's pretty young, the way he talks is actually on point. Every reason he gives is backed up with some kind of logic. She can't help but hope he actually follows through and isn't just saying what sounds good. Zhang Wang steps up and tells her to chill for a sec. He's locked in, letting everyone know that from now on, his name is going to blow up across the whole Xia divine dynasty. After that, Zhang Wang taps into his spiritual powers to reach out to his master, just checking if she's around. Sage Miao's spirit shows up, kind of roasting him for only thinking about her when things go sideways. Usually, he just lives his life and barely remembers her, but now that he's in a tough spot, he's all about his old master. Zhang Wang just grins, not really bothered, and tells her not to count him out so fast. He's got just one thing he wants to ask. He shares that Luo Dong, the rookie from the Luo clan who messed him up, got taken out already. But there's still this 4th-level ancient empress, Luo Q, plus Elder Wan Q, and he's got plans to take them down next. He also throws out a warning. If Luo Q gets taken out, the Luo clan's ancient sage is definitely going to show up. Zhang Wang really didn't want the Luo clan's ancient sage to track him down, so he asked his master to set up some kind of barrier to hide where he was, just long enough for an incense stick to burn. He let his master know not to worry too much, since he already had his own escape plan ready. She nods, basically saying people on the Dao path just do what feels right for them. She's down to back him up, no hesitation. Zhang Wang tells himself it's time to give it everything he's got. He launches up into the sky, making sure everyone around hears him loud and clear. He steps up and lets everyone know he's about to clear out the whole secret realm. He warns the others to watch out because he's about to go all in, and he can't promise anyone's going to be safe. He tells everyone to get up into the sky and line up behind him in 15 minutes. In his mind, that's more than enough warning, and if anyone slacks off or doesn't show, they're going to have to deal with whatever comes next on their own. Princess Xia Mingqian doesn't waste any time. She tells everyone from the great Xia dynasty to get ready and head up into the sky with her. Her attendants pause, glancing at each other. One of them quietly wonders if she actually trusts Zhang Wang, since he's literally just 5 years old. She looks over at them, giving this icy smile, almost daring them to say something. It's like she's checking if they're really about to challenge the Grand Princess in her decisions. Somewhere else in the secret realm, a bunch of other cultivators spotted her and her crew moving up. One guy started thinking about tagging along, especially since even the Divine Dynasty folks dipped out. A few others just went for it, figuring they'd already put in a ton of effort to get here and didn't want to mess up now. Both guys were still on the ground, not getting up. One of them gave Zhang Wang this look, basically calling him out as the Luo clan's cast-off. The kid everyone said was born messed up. He remembered the old gossip, how people claimed Zhang Wang was some sort of born immortal, but he wasn't buying it for a second. The other dude jumped in, throwing shade at the Grand Princess from the Xia dynasty, saying she straight up dipped out because she was scared, and there was no way she'd ever level up to true greatness acting like that. Zhang Wang stood up high, staring down at the group. He figured he'd already waited long enough, and honestly, whatever happened next was on them. He grins and mocks what they said, clearly not impressed. He's basically asking if they really just called his friend weak and saying he'll never reach the Great Tao. He steps up to face the two guys, basically telling them to prove if they can actually reach the Great Tao while going up against his sword. He yells out, and suddenly a huge slice of light drops from the sky, slamming straight down at the cultivators still standing below. Zhang Wang swung his sword and sent a huge blast of light straight at the last few cultivators still standing on the ground. The attack lands right on the two guys who were making fun of the princess. One of them tries to block it with his sword, but he just ends up yelling out in pain. The hit is so strong that it also takes out all the other beasts around him. After the attack, her attendants stare up at Zhang Wang flying above, totally stunned. One of them can't help but wonder if he actually pulled this off, kind of blown away by how strong he looks. She starts to doubt if Zhang Wang is even a kid at all. Princess Xia Mingqian just freezes, her mind racing. She wonders if this is what he was trying to prove to her dad, the emperor. She starts thinking it's her fault, trying to figure out how she managed to forget about the recording stone when things went down. Right then, Zhang Wang figures his spiritual power is all charged up again. Zhang Wang looks over at the other cultivators who flew up with him. He nods at them, kinda grateful that they had his back. He lets everyone know he isn't in it just for himself and throws out the idea that they should all split the spiritual power. Everyone gets hyped up when they see how generous he is. Someone points out that all this energy comes from every spirit beast in the secret realm, and another guy thanks him, calling him young Master Zhang. After all that, Zhang Wang heads over to the princess and calls her sister Xia. He grinned and handed her this glowing ball of golden energy. He'd already saved up all the power she needed to level up, so he was basically set and ready for her upgrade. She didn't see it coming. She couldn't believe he turned down her jade pendant before, but now he wanted her to take his spiritual power. Zhang Wang reminds her to chill out and just keep the recording stone in her hand. He shoots her a confident grin, letting her know that the real action is about to start. Outside the secret realm, both the Xia dynasty and Luo clan troops were just chilling at their camps when, out of nowhere, a giant crack ripped open in the sky. The soldiers instantly started freaking out, trying to figure out what just happened. They all knew only someone on the level of an immortal emperor could pull this off, so the idea that there's actually an immortal emperor inside the secret realm had everyone seriously shook. The elder from the Luo clan watched everything go down, thinking Luodong probably broke through to the immortal emperor level by using Xia Mingxian's 9th yin spirit body. He started to believe that luck was really on the Luo clan's side right now. Jiang Wang and Princess Xia Mingxian step out from the portal. She spots Zhang Wang and instantly knows who he is. She doesn't hold back, she's mad, calling him out for being part of the Zhang family and showing up here. To her, him showing up in the secret realm is straight up disrespect to the whole Luo clan. Zhang Wang looked over at the princess to see if she was sent. She nodded, letting him know she had it under control. She steps up in front of the Xia Divine Dynasty soldiers and takes charge, making it clear she's the one calling the shots now. She calls for everyone to fall back. The whole squad, even General Xia, can't believe what they're hearing and start freaking out, totally thrown off by the command. General Xia looked at her, clearly stressed, and wanted to know if that Jiang guy had her trapped or something. She let him know everything was under control and that she was the one who called the shots to keep everyone safe. He rolls his eyes at what she just said, thinking it sounds ridiculous. In his mind, he figures there's no way around it. They'll end up having to protect the princess themselves when the Luo clan shows up. He's still kind of lost, but he passes the order down anyway and gets his guys moving out. The ships and chariots from the Z dynasty started pulling back, slowly disappearing into the clouds above. The Luo clan elder watched as her people pulled back, then snapped her attention over to Zhang Wang. She looked at him with straight-up anger, thinking he was some messed-up kid from the Zhang family. In her mind, he was already trouble, way too young to be causing this much chaos. She basically dared him, thinking he really believed guarding the princess would save his skin. But she wasn't buying it and made it clear, since he showed up in the secret realm today, he just signed up for a world of problems and nobody was coming to bail him out. Jiang Wang stays chill and just points out that the Luo clan always pulls sneaky stuff like this. Honestly, their tricks are so basic that even little kids could see through them, but since they invited him, he figures there's no real way to turn them down. She totally loses it over how cocky he's acting, basically thinking he's just some brat who needs to be put in his place. She tells the whole Luo clan they don't need backup from the Xia dynasty just to handle a 5-year-old. Then she flat out orders them to take him out. The Luo clan's crew all move together, not hesitating for a second, and rush straight at Zhang Wang and the princess, ready to throw down. With the Xia dynasty soldiers falling back, a young warrior watched them go. He was fired up, thinking the Luo clan was taking things way too far. He wished that, no matter what happened to the boy, the Luo clan would at least let the Xia dynasty people get out safely. She spots him, fires off some energy his way, and basically tells him to shut up and disappear. The boy's just stuck there screaming as the pain hits him hard. While chaos breaks out and one of the female warriors totally panics, yelling at everyone to fall back, Zhang Wang and Princess Xia Mingxian just stand there, calm and unfazed, not even flinching. Luochu, the elder from the Luo clan, called out Zhang Wang for thinking he even had a shot. She made it clear that even if those two generals from the Great Xia dynasty, who barely made it into the immortal emperor realm, tried to back him up, they still wouldn't stand a chance against her. She'd already leveled up way past them, sitting at the 4th heaven of the immortal emperor realm. So, even if they tried to squat up, they'd still get bodied. Then she tried to cut a deal, saying if Zhang Wang told her where Luozhong was hiding, she might let him off easy and leave his body in one piece. Zhang Wang just shoots back with some heavy sarcasm, basically calling out if that so-called genius from her clan, Luo Dong, was really just that trash. He flips a small pouch in his hand, dumps whatever's inside right in front of her, and then messes with her even more, saying maybe some of Luo Dong's leftovers are in there. She should go pick through it if she wants. She totally loses it, yelling at him and basically calling him out in front of everyone. She's not holding back at all. Right after, she tells everyone from her clan to jump in and take him down, promising she's not letting this slide. Zhang Wang stands next to Princess Xia Mingqian. He lets everyone know that by the time an incense stick burns out, that's all the Luo forces have left before they're done for. The elder rushed straight at him, yelling for Zhang Wang to just drop dead. Zhang Wang locked in, steadying himself and looking over at his master, Sage Miao, for backup. Sage Miao jumps into action right away, turning on the shadow-shifting spirit sealing move and giving Seal the order. Huge chains drop down from the sky, locking the whole area around Zhang Wang tight inside the formation. Luochu just stands there trying to figure out what this formation even is. He can tell it's on another level, packed with some serious power like saint-level stuff. Zhang Wang stood his ground, not backing down at all. His words hit hard, cutting through the silence as he went off on the Luo clan and basically wished the worst for them. Zhang Wang, totally fed up with his enemies, decides it's time to go all out. He taps into his biggest move, the heaven-devouring demon art, and just lets that power loose. Up in the sky, a giant blue vortex started spreading out, and right away, the Luo clan soldiers and their chariots totally lost it. The whole place got wild, nobody knew what was coming next. The soldiers totally freak out as they sense their energy getting sucked away. The vortex just keeps pulling in everything. Horses, chariots, nothing's safe. The huge vortex takes over everything, dragging all the enemy troops right into the middle. Elder Luo Q's crew is barely hanging on. One of them, clearly freaking out, calls out for her to do something fast because they're about to get overwhelmed. The elder just stood there, totally stunned. He couldn't believe this kid was already at the top level. The immortal emperor realm. The power behind the move had him questioning everything, like how could someone this young pull that off? Luo Chu realizes things are totally out of hand, so she bounces right away, knowing she's got to get word to the clan's old ancestor. Only he can step in and finish off Zhang Wang before it's too late. Zhang Wang just watched her dip, barely holding back a grin. He looked over at Princess Xia like, wow, he really thought the elder would at least try to throw hands before piecing out. She walked up to the edge of Sage Miao's formation, her mind stuck on how messed up everything felt. All those years grinding, literally centuries of training, just to barely hit the 4th level of the Immortal Emperor realm. Meanwhile, this kid somehow leveled all the way to the top, and she couldn't help but wonder what made that possible. Out of nowhere, Zhang Wang just pops up right in front of her, moving way faster than she thought anyone could. She's totally caught off guard as he shows up, messing with her by acting like she's in a rush. She charges at him, totally losing it, yelling at him to quit acting all high and mighty. Zhang Wang catches her arms without breaking a sweat and shuts down her attack right away. He's not having it, thinking to himself if he's really the cocky one here, since he honestly feels like his skills don't even stack up to the hype she just showed off. He breaks her arms, and she screams out loud, the pain hitting her hard. Zhang Wang wants to wrap things up fast since she's younger, so he lifts his hand and brings out his family's sword move. The Zhang family's 9-heaven sword light is about to go off. She froze up, totally freaked out, as this huge golden sword of light came crashing down right at her. The attack slams into the ground, setting off a huge blast of golden energy that wipes her out instantly. The Xia dynasty soldiers hung back, keeping their distance as they watched everything go down. One of the guys started putting it together. Whoever pulled this off had to be at the absolute top, like immortal emperor status. He honestly felt lucky the Grand Princess told him to fall back. If she hadn't, they'd be wiped out right along with the Luo clan. The guys who made it out by doing what Zhang Wang said are honestly surprised they're even breathing right now. That's when it hits them. This is what an immortal emperor can do. They finally realize the kid who crushed the heavenly tribulation in the secret realm was actually Zhang Wang all along. Zhang Wang cuts through the air heading straight for the Xia dynasty ship. General Xia spots him and just freezes, not believing what he's seeing. This is supposed to be the outcast kid from the Luo clan, dude's only 5, but he's already maxed out at Immortal Emperor level. General Xia starts spiraling inside, realizing the Luo clan totally played him. Zhang Wang jumps onto the ship, gives a quick respectful nod to the elders, and lets them know he's sorry for showing up late. He explains he was busy taking out the guys who disrespected his mom, so he didn't have time to worry about formal stuff. The general nods at him, telling him to look up. He calls him Young Master Zhang and says he's been hearing about his skills for a while, and now he's actually seen he's the real deal. While this is happening, he spots the princess kinda sneaky, filming everything with this spirit stone thing. The general stops and asks her what she's up to with that recording. Zhang Wang just grinned, totally sure of himself. He was here to talk with the human emperor, her dad, about the whole marriage thing. Zhang Wang looks at the princess and brings up the jade pendant she offered before. The princess isn't sure if he wants it right now or if he's just talking about it. He grabs the pendant and talks to the emperor through the spirit stone's recording, calling him the old man from the great Xia dynasty. He lets him know he's taking his daughter's pendant and says they can count it as a sign that their marriage deal is back on. Jiang Wang lays it out straight. He wants the emperor to make sure that when he shows up with the betrothal gifts, everyone who messed with the engagement before is lined up and tied up outside the palace. For Jiang Wang, that would be the perfect payback. She stares at him, totally lost, not getting why he's bringing up stuff like marriage gifts when he's literally just a kid. She shuts down everything he's saying like it's just nonsense. Zhang Wang plays it off, pretending he doesn't know what he's talking about, and acts all innocent, calling her elder sister Xia. He looks over at the generals and tells them to get the Grand Princess back home to the Divine Dynasty, and make sure nothing happens to her on the way. Right before he heads out, she hands the jade pendant back to him. She breaks down how if he charges it up with some spiritual energy, it'll cover his aura for a solid 6 hours. She also reminds him to be smart about when he uses it so he can dip out safely. Zhang Wang talks to his master in his head. She lets him know he did alright so far, but also reminds him that the incense sticks, basically his protection, are almost burned out. He lets her know he's got an escape plan ready to go. Zhang Wang gives the princess a quick goodbye, saying he's heading out and they'll see each other again at the big Immortal Palace competition. She looks a bit anxious, just telling him to stay safe and get going as soon as possible. Once he heads out, she realizes they need to bounce too, her mind racing about what the Luo clan could be planning next. The Xia dynasty ships took off into the sky, but out of nowhere a wild thunderstorm rolled in. One of the soldiers noticed something was up and called out that someone super powerful was on the way. One of the soldiers spots the new guy right away and realizes it's the Luo clan's old ancestor. He can't help but yell it out, letting everyone know who just showed up. General Xia checks out the newcomer and realizes who he is. Princess Xia Minxian moves up and calls him Sage Luo. She wants to know why he's going after their divine ship out of nowhere, especially since their groups have always been cool with each other for generations. Out of nowhere, the Luo ancestor showed up, clearly mad, demanding Xiao Mingxian to explain what went down in the secret realm. He dropped the news that the soul lamps for Luo Taodong, Luo Dong, and Elder Luo Wanchu had all gone out. She fires back, not holding back at all. She basically calls Sage Luo bold for even asking, and throws in that she's the Grand Princess, so she doesn't have to answer to the Luo clan or explain herself to anyone. The ancestor got even more heated, telling her to chill with the attitude and calling out, wanting to know who actually did it. General Xia steps in and calls out Lord Luo for pushing it too far. He makes it clear that if Lord Luo takes things any further, the Xia dynasty is treating it like straight-up war. Xia dynasty soldiers stood on the deck, gripping their spears tight. They hyped themselves up, getting ready to face whatever was coming at them. Luo Tankong, the ancestor of the Luo clan, just looked at the general and basically dismissed him, acting like the guy was way below his level. The princess calls out Luo Tankong, putting him on blast for not stopping his wild streak. She straight up asks if he's ready to own up to starting a war between the Luo clan and the Xia dynasty. Luo Tankong looks at her one more time, wanting to know where his clan soldiers went and who took out the elder. She thinks the Luo clan's gotten way too confident lately, pushing around the Xia dynasty like they own the place. In her eyes, they're just picking on people who can't fight back, acting like no one can touch them. She lets him know she's already got the answer about who took out his clansmen, but she just stands there, daring him to try and get it out of her. Luo Tankong made it clear that if she stayed quiet, he wasn't going to just let it slide, he'd step in and make her talk himself. She answers without backing down, showing she's not scared of him at all. Then she turns to her generals, telling them it's time to bring out the imperial seal from the great Xia dynasty. The generals don't waste any time. They jump in and help the princess with this wild ritual that brings out a huge golden dragon, basically showing off the dynasty's strength. Luo Tankong can't believe what he's seeing and starts thinking about how the Xia emperor could let his own daughter use something that strong. Luo Tankong can feel the heavy pressure from the Xia dynasty's dragon vein, and it hits him that there's no way he can go up against the power of a whole divine dynasty by himself. The princess, rolling deep with the dragon's power behind her, lets him know real quick that the Xia dynasty has never bowed down to anyone. She makes it clear if he keeps standing in their way, she's ready to risk everything, even her own soul, just to take him out. This is his last shot to back off before things get ugly. Luo Tankong shoots a cold stare, looking like he's not letting this go anytime soon. Anyone watching could tell he's locked in and ready to take things further. He lets everyone know that the Luo clan isn't going to forget how today went down, then heads out. The second he's out the door, the princess can barely stay on her feet. She's totally wiped out. The generals hurry over to catch her before she falls, letting her know she needs to chill and take a break. They remind her that using the imperial seal like that really drains her energy. She lets everyone know it's not a big deal. She didn't go all out with the dragon vein's power, so her soul's still good. She just ran out of spiritual energy and needs to chill for a bit to bounce back. She thinks about how the Luo clan's been getting way too bold lately, acting like they run the whole ancient immortal realm even though it's basically empty. She knows they definitely won't just forget about taking such a big hit. The princess has the recording stone in her hand, knowing it's got everything that went down saved on it. She figures once her dad, the emperor, checks it out, he's going to know exactly what move to make. Inside the Luo clan's hall, the old ancestor wanted an update from his guy about the killer in the secret realm. The follower told him the area outside the secret realm was basically trashed, like someone went all out. Only thing he could figure out was that whoever did it was crazy strong, like top-tier ancient emperor level. Other than that, nothing else turned up, but there was still something on his mind. He watches the guy, clearly interested, giving a quick nod for him to keep going. The follower kept going with his report. He said that when he was checking out the eastern region, he found out something wild. 5 years back, a kid with some insane powers showed up in the Jiang clan's area. When this kid was born, all sorts of crazy stuff happened. Like a golden lotus popped up from nowhere, there was this epic scene with mountains and rivers, and it even looked like an ancient king just dropped down from the sky. The old ancestor shot up from his seat, totally caught off guard. He couldn't believe what he just heard. He can't believe what he just saw. Some ancient king actually dropping in from above, which only happens when someone's born with a super rare legendary body. He turns to his guy, trying to figure out if everyone's just making stuff up online. But his follower swears he's not lying. He checked it out, and it's real. The Jiang clan's new kid didn't just get the legendary body, he was straight up born already at that insane, true, immortal level. The old ancestor from the Luo clan suddenly realizes the divine kid everyone's talking about is actually the same person he kicked out of the clan himself. He just sits there thinking how wild it is. If that kid had stayed with them, the Luo clan would have had nothing to worry about. Now he can't help but feel unlucky, especially with all the bad news that's been piling up nonstop today. He figures Luo Zhantian can't just get away with this, so he grabs one of his guys to roll with him and heads out to Luo's place. When the ancestor shows up, he doesn't waste any time and calls out Luo Gantian, ready to settle things right then and there. Inside, Luo Zhantian hears someone yelling and can't figure out why the ancestor is mad again, especially right after the clan's soldiers just got wrecked by something weird. Luo Tankong, the old ancestor, steps into the hall. As soon as Jiantian tries to ask why he's there, Luo Tongkong shuts him down, straight up calling him out for even having the guts to ask. He's clearly mad as he calls out that the kid Jiantian had with the Zhang clan girl was born with this ancient, sacred body. He blames Jiantian, saying that kicking the kid out cost the clan their biggest shot at greatness, and all for nothing. Och as Jiantian freezes, totally caught off guard. He can't believe what he just heard and straight up refuses to accept it. He stands by what he did, saying he checked out the fetus in Zhang Zixian's womb himself. Back then, there was zero sign of any spiritual energy, and the whole thing looked like it was already messed up. Honestly, there was no way that baby was ever going to level up or do anything special. He couldn't see how this could possibly be the same person with that legendary sacred body everyone's talking about now. Jiantian locks his eyes on the guard who showed up with the news, basically warning him that messing around or lying in front of the old ancestor isn't going to end well. The guard drops to his knees, totally scared, hoping Gantin, the young clan leader, will let him off. He tries to explain that he didn't just blurt out the news without thinking. Everyone in the Eastern Immortal Realm already knows, and he made sure to double-check everything before saying anything. Right then, Mu Yun walked in and told Jiantian to chill before doing anything wild. She backed up the death guards, saying they don't just make stuff up, and told him to at least listen to what they had to say. Mu Yun walks up to the ancestor and nods, showing respect. The ancestor gives her the go-ahead, so she starts sharing what's on her mind. Mu Yun thinks the kid probably showed up 5 years back, but since it's all just talk with nothing solid, nobody's really sure. She figures the Jiang clan might have just made up the whole story so they wouldn't look bad after the Luo clan kicked them out. Luo Gantian isn't just going to let this slide. Stuff like this is way too serious to brush off. If it's all just made up, cool, no big deal. But if it's actually for real, that's a whole different story. Mu Yun, who's married to Jiantian, comes up with an idea. She knows the Jiang clan isn't what it used to be. Since the Luo clan holds all the cards now, just calling over Jiang Zixin and her kid to honor their ancestors would score them some major respect from the Jiang family. Plus, it gives them a chance to check if the rumors about the kid are actually true. She's totally sure that it's no big deal if they say no, since her son Luo Xing is already on his way to becoming a top emperor. With him around, their clan's future is pretty much set. Jiantian nods, totally into it, thinking back to when Jinger was born. Those wild things in the sky were next level. He remembers his own bodies on par with the legends, nothing less than straight-up god tier. The old ancestor had been so caught up dealing with his own stuff that Shinger totally slipped his mind. Realizing this, he told Mu Yun to go grab Lu Xing and bring him over right away. Not long after, Luo Xing shows up. He gives a respectful bow to his ancestor, then his dad and mom, showing them all the respect they deserve. The ancestor keeps an eye on him, honestly impressed by how chill and humble he stays, even as his bloodline power just keeps leveling up every day. Inside, he's proud, thinking Shingar's easily the standout in the clan and totally set to crush it at the top of the martial arts world. Jiantian lets the ancestor know that Jinger's been leveling up fast in his training, and he says he'll go with him to the big Immortal Palace competition next month to make sure everything goes smooth. The ancestor gets up, looking super hyped, and keeps saying how awesome this is. He's honestly fired up because with someone like Luo Xing taking over, he's sure their clan is about to level up big time way more than ever before. Before heading out, he makes it clear they can't just ignore what's going on with the Jane clan. He tells them to look into it seriously and not let anything slide. Jiantian nods and tells his son to say goodbye to the ancestor. The whole family bows, showing their respect as the ancestor gets ready to leave. Jiantian tells his son Shinger to get back to his training, saying that if you're not pushing forward, you're basically just falling behind. He mentions he's got something to talk about with Shinger's mom, so Luo Xing heads out. When Jiantian finally gets some time alone with his wife, Mu Yun, she doesn't waste a second before calling him out. She thinks he's still got Zhang Ziqian on his mind, especially after hearing that the kid everyone left behind actually turned out to be super talented. She figures that news probably got to him, and now he's thinking about bringing the kid back. He puts his arm around her, trying to chill her out. He doesn't want her to get mad, and he reminds her that the kid is his. Luo Gantian's own son, part of the Luo family. He thinks that if the kid turns out to be really talented, the clan should treat him right and try to get on his good side, since that would help everyone. Jiantian finally owns up he's got the same doubts as her. Even the top doc from Medicine God Valley checked the kid out and said his foundation was messed up, and Jiantian saw it for himself. He can't figure out how this kid suddenly leveled up and got a sacred body. Mu Yun just can't stand it. She straight up refuses to believe this kid could ever be better than her own son, Shingar. Mu Yun calls it right there, not wanting to drag things out any longer. He tells the guy to just drop it for now and focus on getting everything set up for the plan. Princess Xia Mingqian finally pulls up to the Xia Dynasty Palace, tired but still focused. The trip was rough, and she's still thinking back on everything she had to deal with just to get here. She knows she can't waste any time. She needs to let her dad know what Zhang Wang did, ASAP. The palace courtyard is packed with soldiers, all standing in formation, waiting for the divine ship and the Grand Princess to pull up at the imperial court. The whole place has this serious vibe, like everyone knows something big is about to go down. The princess steps off the ship with her generals right behind her. She nods at the soldiers, making sure they know she appreciates what they did. Then she lets everyone know the divine ship is their responsibility now. The soldiers stand tall and salute her, totally locked in. She tells her generals she's heading out to see her dad, the emperor, to fill him in on everything that happened today. She makes it clear nobody's allowed to talk about any of this until the emperor decides what to do. Her generals nod, showing they're all in and ready to keep it quiet. Princess Xia Mingqian walks through the palace halls, heading straight for the grand hall where the emperor is waiting for her. The princess walks into the throne room, spots her dad, the emperor, and lets him know she's back from the secret realm. She's got some big wins to show for it, proving she didn't mess up or embarrass the Xia dynasty. He greets her, calling her Kiner, and motions for her to step up so he can check her out. Right away, he spots the imperial seal and sees she came back lightning fast, so he wants to know what kind of trouble she ran into. She calms him down and tells him it's all good. Nothing happened to her, not even a speck of dust touched her outfit. He sees right away that her energy's basically wiped out, so he figures she must have used the imperial seal when things got really bad. He wants answers and needs her to tell him exactly what went down. The princess knows her dad's always on point when it comes to reading people. She tells him how the Luo clan actually let Luo Dong come after her with the immortal trapping pearl, planning to do something seriously messed up. Luckily, one of her friends jumped in and stopped Luo Dong before things got out of hand. But the Luo clan wasn't finished. They switched things up and sent out this ancient sage, Luo Tangkon, to try and block their divine ship as they were heading back. He loses it, slamming his fist down and snapping the armrest clean off his throne. He starts yelling, demanding to know what gave the Luo clan the guts to pull something like this. His wife heard him getting worked up, so she walked in and wanted to know why the king was so mad. She walks up to him, trying to get him to chill out and tell her what's going on. He thinks the Luo clan has some serious nerve going after his daughter, almost like they don't respect him or the Xia dynasty at all. Without wasting any time, he tells his people to write up an imperial order and let everyone know he's about to call out the Luo clan and wants answers right away. The princess and the emperor's wife both hurried over, trying to get him to chill before he did something dumb. She tells him to chill and not do anything reckless. The Luo clan might not be one of those old-school families, but they've been around and have serious connections. She points out that if things go sideways and a war kicks off, the Xia dynasty is going to take a huge hit. The emperor snaps back, clearly annoyed, and basically says there's no real difference between what they're doing now and just straight-up declaring war. Princess Xia Mingqian tries to calm her dad down, hoping he won't let his anger take over. She knows if a war kicks off now, the whole ancient immortal realm is going to get wrecked. A bunch of strong clans are already eyeing their dynasty, just waiting for a slip-up. She really doesn't want their people to get caught up in all that mess. She mentions that she actually got her hands on something way more valuable in the secret realm, something that honestly makes the Luo clan's trash talk seem pointless. Then she tells him to check it out. The princess hands her dad the spiritual recording stone. He grabs it, curious about what this whole greater gain thing actually means. The emperor is watching his daughter Kiner and can't help but be impressed. He sees how much she's grown up, especially after everything she just went through. Even after all that danger, she stayed calm and kept her head in the game, still putting her people first. He's honestly proud just seeing how solid she's become. Can't help but feel embarrassed, realizing he, the emperor, just lost his cool way more than his own daughter. Not wanting to let that slide, he decides he's done with this embarrassment. He drops an imperial order telling the Luo clan they've got to hand over Luodong. No arguments. That's the only way he's wrapping this up. The emperor's wife wasn't having it. She pointed out that their dynasty and the Luo clan had always gotten along, so what went down wasn't that big of a deal. She had an idea that could fix things. Why not have Princess Mingqing, another one of their daughters, marry Luodong instead? That way, their families would stay tight, and Mingqing, who was already getting a lot of attention from potential husbands, would finally have her marriage sorted. He totally loses it at his wife, basically yelling because she's acting like nothing major happened. He points out that if things hadn't gone just a little bit wrong, she and her wouldn't have made it back. There's no way he's letting Mingqing end up with that guy. She makes it clear she's not really worried about Luodong as a person. What's on her mind is that he's the next in line for the Luo clan, and that means he's set to have some serious influence in his family down the road. Princess Xia Mingqian cut her off and turned to her stepmother, making it clear that if the emperor thought she was actually into Luodong, he was way off. The emperor's wife looked at her, not really getting what Xia Mingqian was trying to say. Everyone knew now. Princess Xia Mingqian just told everyone straight up that Luodong was already gone.